Hello, how are you guys? Today, we are going to learn how to make a diagonal pocket with decorative stitching. This pocket will also have an internal top stitch, which will help us achieve this kind of finish. Once finished, it looks like this on the outside. And like this on the inside, its decorative stitch is 0.5 millimeters. This pocket can be used on this type of pants, gabardine fabric. Once finished, it looks like this. Its decorative stitch width is 0.5 centimeter. We can also use it on other types of pants, even semi-casual ones, sport or Bermuda shorts. We can also use it in women's pants, as this pocket is for both men and women. With that said, let's begin. Well, here we have the pocket broken down into two parts. The inner part and the external part will also need our front. Before to attach our pocket, we should apply interfacing on the edge, where we will attach the inner part of the pocket. If you don't have interfacing, you can use a Pelon 25p or 20p, which is a little thinner. But as always, I recommend fusible jersey interfacing. Okay? The width we are going to cut will be 2 to 3 centimeters along the entire length of the diagonal cut. Well, the first thing we're going to do is sew the inner part of the pocket to the front of the pants. But first, we need to identify the back and the front of our fabric. Okay? Here we see the front and here we see the back. Okay? We are going to match to join front with front. The pocket comes this way. We are going to place the inner part on the front and sew along this edge at a width of 0.5 millimeters. To then work with a top stitch on the inside part of the pocket. Find top stitch with a compensating foot. Next, we will make the decorative stitch, which will be 0.5 millimeters using a guide as an aid. To finish our work, we'll attach the outer part and seal it. Now, let's go to the machine. To start, we must first place interfacing along the edge of the diagonal cut on our front piece. Once we apply interfacing, we will attach the bottom part of the pocket over our front piece this way. We must verify that when we assemble this piece, it must be aligned both at the top and the side. The seam we are going to make now will be at a width of standing up. As such, 0.5 millimeters. We reverse at the start and end. Once we have made this seam, we will do a top stitch on the inner part of the pocket. Find top stitching with a compensating foot, like this. We will work with back stitching at the beginning and end. Our seam should look like this. Now, the next thing we will do is the fold. If you want to perfect this work, you can use your iron or alternatively do it directly. Now we're going to make the edge. Okay? Look, it looks like this when ironed. Okay? If we observe, the finish is perfect. Now, let's make the decorative stitch. This decorative stitch is known to you as a 0.5 centimeter wide top stitch. How are we going to do it? We do not have a 0.5 centimeter compensating foot, so what we will do is work with a guide. The one we are going to use will be this, the masking tape. Okay? We can use it in this way, working with a width of 3 to 2 millimeters for a length of 3, 4 to 5 centimeters. We can do it at home. If you do not have the guide foot, you can use masking tape. If you want a tutorial on how to make this guide, just leave your message here in the comments and I would be happy to make this video. We are going to place the guide on the edge of the presser foot. We are working with a compensating foot. We will place our fabrics, this edge, on the edge of the guide to thus have a width of 0.5 millimeters, which gives me half a centimeter. Okay? Let's now place the fabric like this. We sew slowly, okay? Start and finish with backstitching. Backstitching is that fastening we know. Look how it turns out. A single width, perfectly, both inside and outside, like the outside part. Okay, guys? Like and share this video so more people can learn how to work this pocket. If you haven't seen the video on how to make the pattern for this pocket, I'll leave the link in the comments. Let's continue. Next step will tell us known in another part of the pocket. But the pocket itself has some notches which we saw in the last class. From the edge to the inside, the width of the diagonal pocket plus 1. For example, if we had 5, 5 plus 1, 6. If we have 4, 4 plus 1, 5. The same for the bottom part. Okay? Let's place the part external in this way. And then we will place the edge of the top part of the pocket over the notch. To then sew over the top part. If you want, you can use the guide to sew at the same width, which is 0.5. We will place the inner part of the pocket properly. There we put the two layers together so that it is the same on top. We will sew only about 3 to 4 centimeters at most. Then we sew the side of the pocket. We will place this over the notch. And this seam will only be from 2 to 1.5 centimeters maximum. We will place the pocket in this way so it does not puff up when finished. What we are going to do is pull the entire part downwards toward the side like this. And so at the same width, remember this seam will only be up to 2 maximum at 2.5. You can do more because we have a space here to seal later. Look closely. We'll position our pants this way, inside out, to sew along the entire edge of the inner part. Here is the side. We will separate it from the pocket, okay? And we'll sew along the entire edge of the pocket. We covered these adjustments in the last class about the pocket patterns. We are going to sew at the same width with this fabulous guide that helps us to perfect the seams when we want a guide or want to sew at a desired width. Remember that this guide is not only placed on the edge of the foot, we can also place it at 1 centimeter wide. Yeah, 1.5 centimeters. If you want to learn all that, remember to leave in the comments if you want to learn how to manage this guide. Guys, comment on what you thought. Look at the result. Impeccable. A quality job. Remember to share so more people can learn to make this quality pocket like it so that YouTube recommends it to more people. Okay? And greetings to Mexico, Colombia, Ecuador, the United States, Venezuela, Ecuador, and many other countries that watch me. Here we are in guys, look, this class was a live class I gave to all of them, and here I leave the original audio. It appeared. This is how it should turn out for all of you. Okay? How about it? What did you think, guys? Perfect. How about you? Also perfect. So let's go. May all the pockets turn out like this, just like that. Okay? Once I've said this, over and out. It has to fit you the same way. Okay? Give me the pocket you cut. Yes, and before I say goodbye, I want to thank all of you for watching my content. Truly, when I last checked, I had 15,020. Now we are more than 15,000, guys. Look, here I go, saying 15,001. As of when I made the capture today, I saw 15,020, but now we are 15,035. If you want to be part of us, then follow us and share our video. And thank all these countries like Mexico, Colombia, Ecuador, Argentina, Venezuela, Peru, Spain, the United States, Chile, and Bolivia. And to all the other countries that watch us, if your country is not listed, comment and tell me where else you are watching from. Thank you very much, really. And here are the girls. In today's class, we had a pants class. Okay? Well, guys, goodbye. Blessings to everyone and success to all. I am Jorge Ayala. Over and out.